So Leela was very unhappy with my arrival. She was dancing around the room, barking and retreating. She would bark and back up, bark and back up. Eventually, she got behind the couch here and was barking from behind her guardians. And I always like to give a dog a couple minutes to try to settle themselves down. She did not settle herself down. So we've incorporated a leash. Now, at first, I just had her guardian with her over there by the wall where the light switch, power switches are, and I put a bunch of treats on the ground. Right now, we have one on the tip of my toe. And basically, the guardian just led her to where these treats were. She took a couple of them, but she would do it from her tippy toes and leaning as far forward as possible, which is another indicator that she doesn't trust. Now, throughout this whole ordeal, I have not tried to pet her once. I've given her a couple of treats by hand, and she is a lot more relaxed now than she was before, but I would not call her relaxed. Now, I mentioned this in the first video, but because of all the barking, I wanted to kind of go over it. Whatever a dog is doing when we pet them is what they interpret as what we are rewarding or petting them for. So if a dog is barking and running around, she interprets that I'm getting praised for barking at this new arrival at the house. And a lot of people with human psychology, we like to pet a dog and try to reassure a dog like we would a suffering child. But for dogs, that just is nurturing that unbalanced state of mind. So when you guys come home from work, even if it's just the two of you and she's not barking or doing what she was doing to me, but she's still bouncing around excited and we pet her, we're nurturing that unbalanced state of mind. So what I would suggest is when you come home, if she is excited like that, ignore her. When she is bouncing around, if you have guests over, maybe putting her on a leash like I have now and blocking her from being able to bark and run away, bark and run away. Now, the guests should not try to look at her, talk to her, interact with her, give her any treats or anything like that. I'm going to give you kind of off camera, I'll kind of talk about your roadmap to success for that. And eventually we might have guests walk in and dropping treats every couple of paces as they walk in, and maybe you follow with the dog on a leash a couple feet behind. So she gets to eat those treats, but she's not getting them directly from the person. But if she's telling someone, I'm not comfortable with you, and they keep on coming up to her, that's just validating her fears. Okay. So we want her to learn, just because a human comes around, a male, if it's just males that she's reactive to, doesn't mean that any interaction is going to take place whatsoever. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can use another treat to get her to take the one that's on my foot. There we go. So I put one there. We'll do another one even closer. And then I'm just going to kind of lean back, and we'll see if she will actually go for it. She's like, no, you're filming me. I'm not going to do anything while you're filming me. So let's try one more. We'll give her one by hand. There you go. There we go. So I wasn't confident enough to take the one off my boot yet. And we can hear a little bit of grumbling. So she's still under her breath, like, I still don't know what you're all about or trust you. But she's a lot more relaxed. She's sitting, which is another, like I mentioned earlier, is another good indicator that a dog is relaxed if they're going to sit or lie down. Now, I would like her to sit or lie down and not be panting so much, but we'll get there. So just like anything else, taking the time really matters. A lot of people will just force the dog to, if you're afraid of spiders, me putting your room full of spiders, holding you down and dropping spiders on you isn't going to help you get over your fear. But that's the same sort of technique a lot of people do with dogs. Sure. They force the dog to interact with someone. They force the dog to sit. I always want the dog to do the thing on its own. Okay. All right. God, you're such a good-looking dog. We're going to help you out.